Hey guys, so I am sitting in the bathroom at our hotel because it's like still not the greatest lighting, but it's as good as I can do. But I pretty much have to tell you about possibly the scariest flight I've ever been on. Ever. In my life. I'm pretty sure if you have a nightmare of what a flying experience would be, that's what I went through today. So I was flying from Austin, Texas to Norfolk, Virginia. And our first flight was 2.5 hours from Austin to Washington, D.C. Smooth flight, barely made it to our connecting flight, but we made it. Everything was going really well. It was cold, it was fine. We took funny pictures that I'll put in right now. Insert funny picture. So we made it to our flight. We go in, we sit down, and okay. The flight from Washington, D.C. to Norfolk, Virginia was supposed to be 30 minutes. We got on there and they said, we're clear for takeoff. We'll be there in 30 minutes. I was excited because I was tired already. Okay, this is where it goes bad. Our takeoff was shaky. Like, taking off was shaky by itself. So I was like, okay, whatever, that's weird. And then the pilot's like, okay, whatever, it's fine, we'll have you there in 30 minutes. We get up, and I swear, all of a sudden, the plane just drops. Like we were gonna crash. And then it started shaking, and it was like, okay, like everyone was like, what's going on? I thought it was kind of weird. But then it kept happening over and over and over. It got to the point where people were screaming on the plane because it was so scary. I started panicking. I flew here with my dad, so he was sitting next to me. I was sitting by the window seat. We were literally next to the wing of the plane. People were screaming, okay, so the plane drops like you're on a roller coaster, freaking out, whatever. Then I think, okay, it's okay, we're gonna land soon. No, we do not land soon because the turbulence got so bad. It got so bad that the guy sitting directly behind me threw up. Directly behind me. And he didn't have a throw up bag. Just think about that, okay? I'm already freaking out because this plane is going insane. People are screaming. The flight attendants go on the speaker thing and they are so scared. Like, you can tell in their voice how scared they are. So automatically it starts smelling from this guy throw up. There's a baby on the plane. The baby's screaming and crying. There's dogs were barking. There's dogs on the plane. So I'm like panicking at this point because it's so scary. Then it's like our plane was a toy and somebody picked up our plane and was shaking it. Like, that's how bad it was. People were like going up out of their seats because the turbulence was so bad and we were dropping so much. I'm exhausted. I'm terrified. On the plane, I had a panic attack. Thank God for my dad because he was calming me down. I almost passed out. I started crying. I was holding on for dear life, literally, to my dad's arm, freaking out. We were supposed to land. We couldn't land. The pilot says we were diverted from Washington, D.C. We made it all the way up to Virginia. Then we had to go back down to South Carolina. So I'm thinking, okay, we're going to be okay. No, it gets worse all over again. The same process happens. And again, the guy throws up a second time directly behind me. And he still doesn't have a bag. And he threw up all over himself. Yes, that's what happened. I swear. So then I think we're going to land in South Carolina. Then the pilot says, there's a problem with the fuel thing there because our flight was supposed to be 30 minutes. By this point, it was already getting a little over an hour and they needed more fuel and we were in South Carolina. So then he says, we're going to go back up to Virginia, but to Richmond, which is an hour and a half away from Norfolk. So we have to go back through the horrible weather. again. We're dropping, we're going up, we're shaking, we're tilting. I'm panicking still. Finally, we land. And literally, as soon as we touch the ground, everybody starts clapping because we touched the ground. But we couldn't be excited because we still weren't in Norfolk, Virginia. A 30-minute flight turned into over 2.5 hours of pure misery. Pure misery. Literally, worst nightmare come true. At this point, I do not want to fly again to go back to Norfolk because I was still shaking. Here's a video clip that my dad took as soon as we landed. So here's the clip.
Lizzie, how do you feel?
Terrified.
Give me a smile. Everybody's just hanging around.
Can I show you how I was when I saw the ground?
Yeah.
Is that the ground? Is that the ground?
I know you can.
Can you see the ground?
Uh-huh. I had to lie 5 times and say yes, even though we're still in the air.
You lied to me?
No.
I swear the pilot said prepare for emergency.
Tell everybody you're okay.
I'm not okay. Look at my hands.
You're all right. Look at my hands.
Yeah, my hands were really shaking that bad. So we waited about 20 minutes and then the pilot came on and said, some of you, if you want to get off the plane and stay here, you can. And some people stayed, like they just got off the plane. The guy who threw up, I feel so bad for him. He just was so embarrassed. He got off the plane and didn't come back on. But we waited for 20 minutes and then we took off again. And the pilot said, I'll have you in Norfolk in 16 minutes from Richmond. So I literally talked and prayed to myself out loud the entire time because I was so scared to go back up in the air. My hands were shaking. It took forever for me to calm down. I was panicking all over again. But finally, we made it to Norfolk, Virginia. We've been on a plane since before noon this morning. We were supposed to be at our hotel by 6:30, 7 o'clock tonight. And it's about midnight. That's my horror story. Throwing up, almost crashing and dying. Worst experience ever. We're going to sleep and we're going to sleep in tomorrow. My speech isn't until 8 o'clock tomorrow night, and so I will be recovering until then. So that's what happened. I'll update more tomorrow. Bye, guys.